Hello.
Hi, guys.
We're seeing this chat box flare up. There should be no connection problems. It was just that the webinar, the masterclass, had not started yet. Michigan, Indiana, Pennsylvania. For some people, I really need to be knowing my what's it called in your state? Like ours is KY. What's that called?
The abbreviation, state abbreviation.
Abbreviation? Is that it? Yeah?
Yeah.
I need to be knowing those abbreviations, that's for sure. Okay, who's ready? I'm so pumped for this.
I am so excited.
We've literally spent way too much time on this. Absolutely way too much time. Where my eyeballs feel like they're gonna be in the fiery pits of hell. That's why I have my blue light blocking glasses on. So, and just give me a that you guys can hear us, you're connected, just so we know. I do know that there's going to be a slight delay, so we might have to like pause for a second for you guys to catch up. Nobody's responded yet. There's definitely a delay. Okay, well.
Loud and clear. Okay, let's go. Yay, success. This never happens. Knock on wood that it stays. Awesome.
But it will start to happen. See, I'm just getting a ton of highs. Hi from Canada. Okay. Anyways, let's get started. Okay, guys. So let's see here. Welcome to the masterclass. So the main thing that I want us to focus on and what we've spent a lot of time developing is ways that you guys can make more income behind the chair. And this really has to do with you really innovating your career as a hairstylist. We hear all the time so many people that just don't really know how to get to the next level. So this is about you being ready to say no more to the stagnant, repetitive, exhausting ways of what your career has felt like, and that being really present in your day-to-day behind the chair. So if you align with you wanting to innovate your career as a hairstylist, take it to the next level, put in your chat box, tell me more. Type that in there. And then I want you to take a second, because this is you totally investing in yourself. Take a screenshot if you're on your phone right now, or if you're on a laptop like we are. Take your phone out. Ooh, I'm gonna do this too. Take your phone out or screenshot this. Take a picture and then use that later and post that to social media, but make sure that you tag us in it. We want you guys to stay until the end of this because, well, number one, we're entertaining AF. That's one reason why you should stay till the end. Number two, we're going to do a live Q&A, and you're going to want to ask questions when we're finished going over everything that we're going over. So make sure you stay. That way you can ask your questions through the chat box. So if you're ready to innovate your career as a hairstylist, you're definitely in the right place. Many of you know that we had a challenge last week, the money challenge for hairstylists, and many of you participated in that. And the results were so phenomenal, just as I knew they would be on the last day of the challenge, actually the day after the last day, so you could say day 6. I posted in our challenge group, how much money did you spend? How much money did you make? So everyone spent $17 on the challenge. Like, that's virtually chump change compared to the results that they experienced. And, I'll tell you this, whether the result had anything to do with money or not, everyone experienced results with money. First, I'll say that. But whether you know it or not, if you were in a challenge, you experienced a lot more than what money can offer. And we did that just by teaching one small method that we teach in our 12-week core program, Rich Life Hairstylist. So for all of you guys that are in here right now and really even in our industry, there are certain problems or challenges, we'll say, that you have in your career, and you think the solutions to your challenges are these bullets: getting more new clients in your chair, maybe a solution to the current challenges that you have in your career are working more hours, maybe open up more days behind the chair. Maybe you think the solution to your certain problems right now or challenges is boosting social media posts, paying for those boosts, even though we know nothing about Facebook and Instagram ads. We may think the solution is offering discounts. Many people feel like, well, if you offer a discount, it gives them an incentive. It gives people an incentive, new clients, to sit in your chair. Or you may think the solution is taking as many education classes as you can, because education is key. So here is where we want to take a second and just tell you these are not the solutions. These are not the solutions to the challenges in your career as a hairstylist. It's so much deeper and broader than these bullet points. And the whole point for this masterclass is to help guide you in your thinking, because we have legitimately, we could say, cracked the code for becoming a badass, confident, successful, and mentally fit hairstylist. And those are some of the things that we're going to share with you today through our core program, Rich Life Hairstylist. So then, Saster?
The main problem for several stylists who took the challenge that are in the industry, and even for all of our students before they signed up to take Rich Life Hairstylist, you don't have the tools, you don't have the education, you don't have the accountability or a support that a human being, not just a hairstylist, needs in order to change your entire career. That is the real problem. You don't have those 4 things that every single person on this earth needs to have to be successful. So here's where some of you all may be right now. You may have a solid book and you make pretty good money, but there's this ceiling that you've hit and you'd love to figure out how to make more money without working more. I feel like that's every single person's dilemma in life, how to make the most money that we can without having to sacrifice our time. Because you're already working 40 hours a week and spending so much time in our career. It takes time away from your family, from your health and your exercise, from having fun and getting to play, enjoying hobbies that you like to do, from vacationing. I mean, fill in the blank, you guys. What else? What else in your life are you not able to give intentional time and focus on because you don't know how to set those boundaries for yourself? I want you guys to tell us, what are some things that in your life right now that you could be spending more time on, that you want to spend more time on, that would bring you so much more fulfillment and enjoyment out of your life than you are right now? Tell us some of those things in the chat. Sleep, charity, missing out. Yep. Self-preservation. Those are some good ones. Really good ones. Really good ones. So maybe another challenge that you're facing right now is that you're just not supported or surrounded by other badass women, strong women who have real goals, that are willing to work their asses off. Yes, physically behind the chair, but in a different way also, and that they're willing to share everything that they know with you, because their ultimate goal is for you to get to where they are. This is being a part of a tribe that is highly selective because of the drive and the focus that those women give to each other, their life and their career. And being surrounded by them is going to help you so much because you have people of high vision feeding in to your high vision.
That's good. My turn?
For somebody. Yes, ma'am.
It's a word for somebody. So listen, it just goes so much deeper than wanting to make more money. When we originally started developing Rich Life Hairstylist, we knew that the problems and challenges that our industry and you who are watching this, the problems that you faced could be, yes, you wanted to make more money, But many of the people that we work with and that we serve, they already make good money. They make good money, but it's more about the fact that you've hit a block or a standstill where something needs to change because you know that there's more out there. Surely this cannot be it for you. You're exhausted sometimes after each week because you've seen 25 plus clients and you feel like you're sacrificing your personal time and responsibilities to the things that you really want to spend energy on. And there's not excitement or fun in the moment right now. So if you don't fix this, what happens is you're going to stay making the same amount of money every month and you're going to work yourself into a burnout if that hasn't already happened. This affects your life outside of work. You're starting to build resentment. This is what happens to so many people. They start to build resentment for their career for not quite delivering the results that should be equivalent to what you've sacrificed. And right now, what's at risk is your spark. Like if you took the challenge last week, it was fun. And we said that in our marketing. It's going to be so fun. There's a spark that misses. Your unique flair, your joy, your extreme contribution that you need to be giving yourself, your family, and your career. Those are the things that are at risk if you don't really pay attention to what the real problem in your career is, which is not how to get better at boosting posts, which is not always about getting more clients in your chair. And what can be really upsetting to a lot of stylists that we know, and that we already work with, is that you love what you do, the financial stability that it brings, but sometimes it starts to take over your life because we don't know how to set certain boundaries for ourselves. And we don't want to be working 50, 60 hours a week. Okay, and P.S., let me just say this really quick. I'm not talking about the people, because I've had some people like this on my team. I'm not talking about right now if you work 28 hours a week behind the chair, and that's all you've ever worked. Like you've never experienced the 40-hour work week behind the chair, and you're wanting to scale down 18 hours a week. That's not who I'm talking to. I'm talking about the people that have put in some time in the industry, and maybe that is like you've went really hard for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 40 years, going hard where it's wearing you down. And going hard isn't 20 hours a week. So I just want to make that little bit of justification right there. You don't want to be doing that 50 hours a week until you're 70 years old and making the same amount of money. So this is exactly why we've invented Rich Life Hairstylist. And we've created the solution. So we're going to spend some time going into essentially what we've created in this. And Sam, if you could control my slides, that would be great for me. So I could I'll do the same for you. So I can just really give attention to this.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. There is definitely a delay. So I want you to make sure that you stay on that way in case you have questions about this. So we're going to go into pretty much a sneak peek of what we deliver in Rich Life. You should know that we've never really talked about our course before unless it was little snippets. We have received several inquiries. We have over 400 applications for people to take Rich Life with us. And we've never really created a space to tell people what it's about because it is absolutely revolutionary. It is a pioneer to this industry and it is transformative. So really what this whole course is about is there's 4 phases, and we're going to give you some value on how you can make more income behind the chair for sure. So there's 4 phases to our program, and each phase, we designed it so strategically and chronologically in order to solve your problems. Every single lesson that we designed, we wrote out a list of problems that we know our industry and thriving hairstylists in our industry go through. And that is things like working more to make more. You're exhausted. That's a problem. You're exhausted because you're seeing so many people a week working so many hours. A problem is no work-life balance. We all talk about this work-life balance. And to be really honest with you, I've never believed in a work-life balance, but I think it's because I'd never called it that. Balance is different for everyone, and we can either live our lives by design or by default. And what so many of us do is we live by default, and we end up running around like chickens with our heads cut off, not being organized in anything, not being intentional, not setting clear boundaries. That is a huge problem for so many hairstylists, how they can't create time in their life to handle their business. I'm talking about handling your business to where you make amazing money, to where you can go on a vacation, drop $3,000 and not bat an eye, but then you can also take time off and be at your kids' soccer games whenever you want, or create time every single week to work out. These are the problems that a lot of people face, that in every lesson that we've created within Rich Life, we have created them to solve the main problems that we know that you face. And then on top of us developing every single lesson in Rich Life based on solving your problems, we offer two main things that nobody is touching and nobody is able to deliver the results. And that is this. Number one, the accountability through intimacy with us. The accountability is crazy. How many of you really have people that hold you accountable? Because you have to have that. Like, that's the number one tip that you should take away from this masterclass is who is holding you accountable, because you're not going to hold yourself accountable. I don't hold myself accountable, and I am disciplined. I have to pay people to hold me accountable, and they do a really good job of it. And then the other thing on top of the lessons that solve your problems is the amount of support with other like-minded people. We have people that join Rich Life Hairstylists. They make great money. They need to be around other elevated minds. They need to be around people that think big, that are willing to work their ass off to achieve those big goals. And then they're willing to share with you how they did it. And those are the two other things that this program really offers. So I'm going to go into, actually, Sam, you're going to go into the next phase, correct?
Just who we are and why we're able to talk about this, credibility. So some of you guys may have been following PIP University for a while, and if you have, thank you. I remember when PIP University started out as a Facebook group, and we had like 6 people in it. And so if you have been one of the OG PIP University fams, we appreciate you so much, and we love you more than you will ever know. If you're new to the PIP U fam, we want to give you just a quick background on us and how we know that everything that we talk about on Instagram, that we talk about in the Facebook Lives, that we're talking about in the challenges and the courses that we offer at this masterclass, how we know that this stuff actually works. So my name is Samantha Huber. I grew up in the salon industry. I've been working in a salon for the last almost 11 years of my life. I started out working at a front desk at an Aveda salon here in Louisville, Kentucky. That's where Heather and I actually first met. And so much of my customer experience and just like the knowledge of the industry came from those first 4 years of working at that first salon. I had no idea when I got that job when I was 16 years old that my career as an adult, and I was thinking about this today when I was like, how am I going to introduce myself? And it gives me cold chills. My job is literally the reason that I wake up in the morning. Like my feet hit the ground and I am excited. I am convicted to work in the greatest industry that there is. And I just had no idea of the impact it was going to have on my life when I was 16 years old. I started managing Neat Beat, Heather's salon here in Louisville, Kentucky in 2015, and helped the company hit 7 figures in its 4th year of being open. And that's when I knew that was kind of like a tipping point for me, that I was on my purpose and that I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. I worked one-on-one with a stylist in Neat Beat, just helping and coaching them, watching certain habits and behaviors that we would help them create, and how those habits and behaviors started to make them more money and give them more fulfillment. And so a lot of, like Heather said, a lot of what we've created in Rich Life and what PIP University does, Neat Beat has really been the ultimate testing grounds for everything that we're able to teach. And I was lucky enough to be I guess, a pioneer of the training that we have at NEPEAT and just watching the results. Because we kind of just, I mean, Heather and I have said this before, we literally Google everything. If we don't know how to do something, we Google it, we figure it out, we take classes, we take education, and we've been able to kind of repurpose that into NEPEAT's training and then also into Rich Life. For the last 4 months, I have been working full-time and exclusively with PIP University, with Rich Life Hairstylists, being a mentor for our students in that, and then just coaching them on how they can innovate and change their careers as hairstylists and live the life that they want to live, not just have a successful career, but to have a successful life. And you all, that's what lights me up. Seriously, it lights such a fire in me to be able to teach hairstylists their worth, to teach them to see their value, to teach them and to see them have these aha moments and to just push past the fear that we all have, right? We all have fear. We all have doubt of why we can't have this certain amount of success because of this person told you this when you were 17 years old going into cosmetology school, that you weren't going to be successful. And for whatever reason, we hang on to that. And so it's been super, super inspiring for me to be able to be a part of so much transformation in the last 4 months. And I'm super excited to see where everything goes. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm going to let Heather take over.
Yep. And so I always forget to do this part. So I'm going to run through this real quick. I have messed up so much in my career. I am willing to try anything. I am not, there's several things I'm just not scared of because I have went through them so much. At one point, yes, I was scared of these certain things, but now I'm just not scared at all because I have developed the grit and the leather skin, you could say, to where there are certain things that might be standing in your way right now that scare you, that once scared the shit out of me too, but I don't even bat an eye at them anymore. And then there are certain things that are in my life and in my career and that I test out that do scare me, but I make myself do them. That really is me in a nutshell. I started in the industry in 2008. I started for 12 hours a week for $7.50 an hour. I was the only apprentice hired. And the salon that I was at opened the first day that I started. I opened with the salon. There was no name. The owner had not been in the industry for a long time. So I don't have a lot of tolerance for the excuses that so many people in the industry use. And honestly, even for myself, I'm so well equipped with people around me, badasses around me, and Sam is one of them, that when I start to tolerate my own excuses, I have people around me that are like, okay, so what are you scared of? And I'm like, I'm not scared of anything that I'm talking about right now. And they're like, well, yeah, but you kind of are because of what you just said. So I have surrounded myself with people that don't allow me to tolerate my own excuses. And when I hear certain things from other people, I'm like, I live in Kentucky. Average income per household is nothing like several other cities and states. And for me, starting at the level that I started with a salon that had no name, there were no walk-ins. There was no walk-in traffic. I had to go out and grab. I had to go out and get what I wanted in life. And I did that because I believed that that's it. That's all. Nothing in front of me said that I could do it. Nothing tangible in front of me said that I had the resources to go out and become what I wanted to become. I had the faith and the belief that I could. If I saw other people doing it, then I could do it. And so I really just wanted to create PIP University and Rich Life to be that support and that voice, that abundant voice for this industry, to give back, to allow a program to where people could experience some of the success that I have experienced. In my 4th year in Louisville, Kentucky, I did $250,000 in total sales behind the chair. That's absolutely insane. I've gotten murdered on Facebook ads because of this. People saying this is a get rich quick scheme, that this is not realistic at all. I'm here to tell you right now, yes, the hell it is. And I would stand in front of anybody and say, it was 100% possible for anyone in the industry, as long as you're willing to work for it. As long as you are willing to push yourself past the limiting beliefs that you tell yourself you can't achieve. And we're going to get into a little tip that we have for you guys to take back with you. But that's essentially me. I opened my salon Neat 5 years ago. In our 4th year, we hit 7 figures, over $1 million. The next year, we grew by 25% more than that. And the only reason that we did that is because of the 4 phases that are in Rich Life that we want to share with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get to that. Just so you know, there are several girls on my team. This is how we have the credibility to teach what we do. Several girls on my team. Here's 2 of them. Preston. She moved from Denver, Colorado to come work with us. She knows nobody in the state of Kentucky. She knows nobody. She came literally to work with Neat Salon. And then this is Danielle. She's been with me since day 1. Both of them bring in way more than $100,000 behind the chair. Miss Danielle in the red hair actually brought home $102,000 last year. So freaking cool. It was her 5th or 6th year behind the chair, 5th year behind the chair. And I basically took what we teach my team that is tried and true. It works. It absolutely works. And we got that from what I did behind the chair, and based off of what other people that are way better than me, they've taught in the industry and outside of the industry. And that's what we've created with Rich Life. So, Sam actually put this together, some more street cred. I've been on the cover of Salon Day magazine. I speak on main stages. I do podcasts, things like that. But most of you all, I would think, know a little bit about that because you see it on Facebook and Instagram. But that's enough about me. So here we go. So with my journey, I've always wanted to be in a space where I could share all of these face plants. And Rich Life Hairstylist is the very first thing that I have ever created. I want you all to know how passionate I am about this, because me and Sam have realized we never really talk about this, and we're going to change that. Moving forward, we're going to change, because this program is just nasty with it. It is the pioneer of our industry. We're developing something that, I mean, big people. Now, I'm not saying we're on this level, but the level of the course is the stuff that Tony Robbins does. It is the transformation that Tony Robbins offers. I said this before, you probably know this. We do not sell information. We do not sell education. We give all that shit away for free all the time. What we do sell is intimacy with us. Intimacy and an energy that provokes transformation. So the intimacy and the energy that we share in our program, coupled with the education that our students digest every week, that is what transforms. And I'm not interested in delivering information. I'm interested in delivering transformation. You cannot have the results that our students are experiencing without the intimacy and the closeness to us and the rest of our students. It's just impossible to get. So
that's good. That's good.
4 phases. I'm going to run through these. You have something to add to it, Sam?
No,
you're
go
doing
ahead.
This one. Phase 1 is real talk. This is the first full week, and we take a long, deep dive into your mind, honestly, and why it's important to you making more money behind the chair and bringing in more income and really solving the challenges, the real challenges that you have. We've already addressed is, do you know the power that your mind plays on the reality that you experience in life? And we have to start this first full week of the course, because nothing in our lives will change if we don't focus on our mindset. So think about yourself right now, the things that you want to change. If we do not take a second and focus on what's going on up here, we cannot expect different results to happen in our everyday life. So one little tip, this is something that you can write down, because this is something that we go over in the first week, phase 1 of Rich Life Hairstylist. And that is, if we look at the word because, take a look at the word because. Generally, if you say that you can't do something, you'll say, I can't charge that because. Or I'm not able to do that because. That won't work for me because. Whether this is in business or it is in life. Because Rich Life Hairstylist is definitely a course for hairstylists, but I'm telling you what, it alerts in the area of your life also, personal stuff also. So whether this is business or life, the word that typically follows the word because is your judgments, your justifications, your limiting beliefs. And if we pay attention to those words that come after because, those are the clues of what's holding us back from reaching our goals. So if there are things that you feel like are holding you back, but you don't really know, I don't know what's holding me back. I don't know what's holding me back. Well, when you start to talk to people, or you're going through your mind right now, and you say the word because, pay attention to what follows after it, because those are your cues and what's really holding you back. And I'll tell you this, it always leads back to mindset. Because if you really dig deep within those words that follow the word because, it triggers old wiring. Oh my gosh, this is really freaking good. Because this is legit stuff, y'all. It triggers old wiring that at one point or another you chose to believe. You chose to believe it. Whether it came from a qualified source in your life or you experienced it yourself, we chose to believe certain things that we hold true and we're not willing to negotiate on them. When in all reality, it may have just been that one time that it happened. When in all reality, it may have just been what other people said that we decided was true. And in that first week, we've got to totally add new wiring. That way, when we head through the rest of the course or your career, that you're able to accept and digest the information that we're delivering, because that's how important it is. If your mind isn't exercised, complete with lessons and homework for you to turn in, and the homework is really fun, then no education will solve your challenges. None. It has to start with your mind. So that's phase one of Rich Life. Take a look at the word because, though.
So phase two is champs are disciplined. This is the next 4 weeks of the course, and this is where we give you the bulk of the lessons, and your homework assignments are going to come from. The lessons are all on video, and you have typed out PDFs that you're able to follow along with, and then your homework assignments help you implement, practice, get good at, get uncomfortable with, and then get feedback from Heather or myself on how we can make it even better. And then what you're doing
freaking awesome.
Yeah, what you're doing awesome at, just to give you some feedback. So this is where we teach the value-added experiences menu along with several other strategies, systems, and processes. So here's an example of a menu that one of our girls made. This is what the money challenge was all about. So you guys, if you took the money challenge, you're familiar with added value experiences, but this is one of the added value menus that one of our students made. And when she turned this in for her homework, I had to share it with the entire group because I was like, look how freaking cute this is. You can tell in her copy that she knows exactly who her PG is.
It may be a little bit small for people to see, so just screenshot this. Screenshot this for yourself.
So we went over in the money challenge the importance of added value experiences and how they can increase your bottom line per week. One thing that we did not go over is one thing that we recommend to do to increase how many yeses you hear throughout your day. And we didn't give you guys this on the challenge, but we're going to go over it right now. And that is to use body language, facial expressions, and tone. So I'm going to say those again. Body language, facial expressions, and tone. Making simple motions with your body can invite hearing yes from our guest. For example, what does that mean? While you're saying to your guest, would you like to add on a hair facial? You're shaking your head yes. You're smiling. That's a facial expression. You're smiling. People react differently when they see a smile. It's contagious. You guys know if you are standing in front of someone and they're smiling, you may not be as happy. You may not be happy about the same thing that they're happy, but because that person is smiling, it triggers a psychological reaction in your brain to mirror what the person in front of you is doing. So if you're nodding and you're smiling to your guest while you're asking them if they would like to add on an upgrade that you've recommended, it's going to increase the chances that they're going to want to mirror your reactions and say yes and smile. And another cool thing about smiling that I think is really cool is that when you smile, your tone of your voice changes. So maybe try this at home, practice it, maybe record yourself. Record yourself saying a sentence while you're smiling, and then record yourself saying a sentence while you're not smiling. And you'll be able to immediately tell the difference. When you're not smiling, the voice can kind of sound a little bit monotone. There's really no difference in pitch. But when you smile, you don't even have to think about it. Your brain just automatically does it for you. And then with your body language, just standing tall. Avoid standing with your arms crossed or your shoulders humped over. Stand up nice and straight, open, being positive, and positive energy and a confident is what is going to invite your guests to say yes, because they feel safe with you and they feel like they can trust you. So those are 3 things that we recommend for you to do to get more yeses when you're introducing your guests to your added value experiences. Heather, do you have anything else to add to that?
No, all I was going to say is that right there, guys, we saw in the Money Challenge for Hairstylists several people that did great. Several people got no's, but we never went into how you can turn those no's into yeses. You can literally say the same exact thing. Scripts are great, but scripts are only great when you've memorized them. You have to memorize them. And you add your flair, your uniqueness, your tonality, your body language, your smile. When you can literally stand next to someone that literally hears no all day long, say the same exact thing, but adjust exactly what Sam went over and get all yeses. That's how important that tip is that we did not touch on at all in the Money Challenge. So really take that for what it's worth, because it's extremely valuable. Okay, so that was phase 2, champions are disciplined. That is where you learn the bulk of everything, exactly just like that little tip. And then we make sure that our people are comfortable with the things that they're learning, because they have homework assignments at the end of the week. They don't take long. They're videos. They have to turn them in, and they're actually really fun to do. And one of our students that I love so much, April, she does them with Snapchat videos, because obviously videoing yourself role-playing by yourself, there's probably one thing for people that's more uncomfortable than role-playing with someone else, and that's role-playing with yourself on video. So she decided to do Snapchat filters when she does it, and it's so cool because it makes it really fun for me to grade her videos, like to give them the okay, because I never know what Snapchat filter she's going to choose. So then the next phase is expert status. This is from week 6 through 12. So this is kind of what we focus on the rest of the time. This is where you start to finesse and highly execute everything that you've learned. So we call it expert status, because here is where you get better and better and better each day. So I'm going to go over 5 things right now that you should write down that will help you make more income behind the chair. And these are all little peeks into rich life. So the first thing is sustainable pricing for new and existing guests. I'm going to say that again. Sustainable pricing for new and existing guests. You can have your new guests pricing go into effect immediately to make more money while you wait to communicate with your existing guests. So what does this mean? Many people do not charge what they should charge. And then they always have because after that, whether it's because where they live or whether it's because they're going to lose every single person that's ever sat in their chair. So we ensure that this goes down in a certain way that is extremely healthy for the business, whether you are independent, whether you are part of a salon team, or you are a salon owner bringing your people through Rich Life. Because we just signed up a Colorado salon, shout out to Freebird, where their team is taking the course together. You have to have, as an artist behind the chair, sustainable pricing for all of your guests. If you are not charging appropriately, and guys, this isn't about ripping people off. This is about us being able to create careers for ourselves. That's all. That's really all this is about. That is one thing that you need to look at is, are you charging appropriately? If you really look at that and you're willing to make the moves necessary, it could result in phenomenal ways for you to be able to make more income behind the chair. The second thing that will help you make more income, and that is a part of this phase, is setting the excitement for the experience. What does this mean? It means excellent consultations. And we don't mess around with consultations. They are extremely in-depth, because the way the majority of the industry consults has a lot of opportunity for growth, I'll say. And it just goes over the technical stuff. It doesn't go over the business of you using, your craft as a business. It's different if you want to do this as a hobby, then yeah, talk about what color or what balayage or hot pink they're going to put in their hair today. But if you want to be a sustainable hairdresser that creates a life for themselves where money is not an issue, the consultation should have to do a portion with what's going down technically, and then a greater portion of the business and the boundaries that you set as an expert. And these consultations, this is what leads to successful services performed. So I want you to think about being focused and being clear on becoming the expert in your consultation. This is where your success lives, in the experience that people have with you. So the third thing that will help create more money is complementary rituals. Last week in the Money Challenge, somebody commented and said, I already do these little added things that I'm always adding on. What's another way that I can increase value from guests? There are so many. Complementary rituals allow you to charge more for the entire experience. Nowadays, it cannot just be about color and cut. You can't come in and say, yeah, I color and cut. You want to be able to charge more and be able to make a phenomenal living where you have boundaries, where you can spend time with your family. If you want to do that, you've got to add other things into the mix that have nothing to do with cutting and coloring. And a lot of these come in the form of being complementary, but you're able to charge more because they're complementary. You have to bring little treats into the experience, and you have to set yourself apart because those small surprises help deliver the life that you really want. It will help you afford it. The fourth thing, I just have 4 to 6 weeks. You have to become excellent at the way that you get your guests. There we go. The way that you get your guests back into the salon. And that needs to be within 6 weeks or less. None of that 8 to 12 week stuff. Many of you all know my take on this, but I'll repeat it if you don't. That 8 to 12 stuff, that we've gotten in this habit. We've gotten in this habit, especially if balayage, and balayage is huge right now, where we tell people, oh, this has a lot less maintenance to it. So you can come in less times a year. Do you know every time you do that, you're just increasing work for you to have to see more people to be able to make a certain amount of money? We need our guests coming in 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 weeks. No more than that. Number one, the hair needs attention every 6 weeks. I don't care what you do. If it's balayage, it can be touched up with accent pieces. 4 pieces. You can do a treatment mixed in with a gloss, so you can either neutralize unwanted tones. You can enhance tones that have faded. You can deepen, or you can brighten in certain areas. Hair always needs that. If it's a haircut, it needs a trim. It needs a full haircut maybe every 6 weeks, depending on what the haircut is. That's half of it. The other half of it is humans need a hairstylist in their life every month and a half. Life is hard. Kids drive you crazy. Work is stressful. Significant others make you want to shoot yourself. You need someone to sit in their chair and to gain peace from them. And so many people out there, they're not going to they're not going to hold themselves accountable to book a massage every 6 weeks. That's kind of like a luxury. They're not going to hold themselves accountable to see a therapist every 6 weeks because that's a luxury. Hair isn't really a luxury. People look at it like a necessity, but it has so much to do, so much more to do with hair. And half of it is just the way that we make them feel. And they need to be in our chairs every 6 weeks. This right here, creating that 4 to 6 week structure, there is a way that you can do that through a certain type of scripting, suggestive language that provokes people to say yes, yes to every 4 weeks, yes to every 6 weeks, even if they've never done it in their life. The fifth and final thing, for you to make more income behind the chair, you need to close like a boss. Close like a boss. You have to know how to close out your experience, every experience, and you have to execute it like clockwork. This comes down to scripts. You knowing the scripts so well, they're not script anymore. It's your language that you bring to every experience, and this comes down to you practicing it over and over and over, and you having the systems that you need that have been tested and you know that they work. And maybe they're not tested by you, but they're tested by us. I have a whole salon that does this. And we have students in Rich Life right now that do this. So this comes down to scripting, you practicing the scripts, and you delivering certain systems that are tried and true that you know will get you results that will ultimately enable you to afford a life where those problems and challenges that you're experiencing right now, they're just not there. The fourth and final phase is cash flow gains. And this is where we support fully and we equip you with the right language, because this is what really scares people. And this is why we do Mindset Week 1. The right language, the right timing, the right questions, the right suggestions to raise your prices in a way that is extremely helpful to the business, whether you are independent, whether you are a part of a team salon, or whether you are a salon owner looking to do this for your team. In cash flow gains is where we help people make the move that they're not going to do themselves. And this is a very important part of the course because it sets the tone and the boundaries for guests to experience you of what you're about in creating a great experience for them and how you view yourself as a professional. So that's pretty much the 4 phases of the entire Rich Life Hairstylist program. At least it's the lessons that we cover. And in my opinion, that's not even the best part of the program because you really can't explain the intimacy that it provides. I want you to take a second right now, and I just want you to ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, I'm killing it, and 1 being, nope, I got a lot of work to do. Where are you? Where are you in your career with each of these phases? And you're not allowed to choose 5. So how is your mindset? On a scale of 1 to 10, really, how is your mindset? Is it abundant thinking? Is it thinking limitless? How is your pricing? Paying the business well? And then is it paying you well on a scale of 1 to 10? On a scale of 1 to 10, how well are the systems and the experience you provide? Are they helping you make great money on a scale of 1 to 10? How well are they affording you to create balance so you give time to other priorities in your life? And then how well does someone else or do yourself hold you accountable and empower you to charge appropriately? Really ask yourself these. So Sam, I'm going to let Sam go over some of these results that we talk about because they are so cool. And this is just 4 because that's all we could fit in the slide. And we wanted to be able to open up for live Q&A.
And if this is small for you guys, just screenshot this and blow it up on your phone so that you can take a look because some of the results, actually all of the results are absolutely incredible. I had so much fun when I was putting this together, just going back and kind of just reminiscing on all of the freaking wins that all of our students have experienced. Yep. So one of our students made $500 more, and that's the image with the pink that says benchmark weekly numbers before Rich Life. That's that image. She had made $500 more than she ever has in her entire career as a hairstylist in the first week with Rich Life Hairstylist just by recommending hair treatments to her guest. It was the highest week ever in the history of her hairstylist. And you might think, okay, yeah, she made $500 more. She probably lives in New York City. She probably lives in Nashville. She probably lives in West Palm Beach. She lives in a small farm town in Iowa. You guys made $500 more in Iowa, that just goes to show you that anybody can do it. The next one is one of our students made an extra $900 in service sales in just 1 month alone in added value experiences. And then one of our students, this is the second image down right below the one with the pink. We call it a GARD. That's no, it's guest average service ticket, Heather. That's a typo. So your GASD, your guest average service dollar, increased by more than $40 in 1 week, and that was from those added value experiences. So she went from $122 average ticket to $165 in 1 week. And then this one says, "Get it, girl. Thank you for always continuing to add more goodies to the program. By the way, I did a quick report for this week. before I headed out of the salon and almost crapped my pants, I did $4,500 in services last week. That is insane. I mean, I want you all to think $4,500 a week. What does that look like for you? What opportunities would that create for you? And then the last one on here is from one of our students. She checked this is actually one of the girls that's graduating the program next week. She checked her numbers from the first, was it 6 weeks, Heather? Yeah, from the year before. So she took her first 6 weeks in 2018 and checked them to see how they compared to her first 6 weeks in 2019.
And she doubled.
And they doubled, you guys.
She doubled.
She doubled. And that's because she's been a part of Rich Life. So these are just a few of the wins that we've seen in this course. And I wish that we could show you guys all of them. I wish that we could take an entire masterclass to show you guys just the results, because they are absolutely phenomenal. So I want you guys to start to look at what your life would look like if you were experiencing the results that we just showed you. Imagine how fulfilled that you would be when you're seeing your business producing just $500 more a week than you are right now because of those small adjustments that you've made, and you didn't have to work any more than you already do. You start getting comfortable. You maybe even compete with yourself to see exactly how much more money you can bring in, because that's what happens. When we start to see a little bit of success, we start to think, okay, that wasn't that scary. Now what can I do? If I can do this, what can I do? And it starts to become this game. And that's what makes work so much fun, is when we're succeeding and people are pushing us. And it's almost like a game to see how good you can get and to see how much better that you can be. And you're doing that just by offering your guest what you need. You're not working more. You're not spending all this time marketing to all these new guests. You're simply giving the solutions to your guests of the problems that they're bringing you. And you're going to start to notice when you do this, when you're creating this luxury experience, when you elevate your guest experience, your guests are going to start reacting and responding to you more. They're going to turn into what I like to call raving fans. And a raving fan is a guest that doesn't cancel their appointment. It's a guest that leaves you reviews on Google, even though they've seen you 17 times and they've already left you 5 reviews, because they are that excited about their appointments to come and see you. They send you referrals. They listen to anything, any advice, any recommendation that you have for them. They trust you. They implement it. They're not scared to make changes. They let you be creative. You enjoy the conversation that you have with them. Those are raving fans, and those are the guests that we want to see. Those are the guests that we're going to get when we take our guest experience to that next level. You're going to start to notice that your confidence in yourself and your craft starts to increase because you feel appreciated and valued by your guests that you love to serve. I want you guys to take a second to think about the last time or a moment that you had with your guest recently that whether it's when you turned them around in your chair, whether it was a hug that you guys shared when you checked them out, that you truly knew that you had made an impact on that person's life. And I want you to think about how that made you feel. That appreciation that we get from our guests is so powerful. It literally gives me cold chills right now. That is the power of a hairstylist. And we should be able to experience that with every single appointment, with every single guest. And it all starts with us just believing that we have that power. It is the confidence in ourselves that allows us to create those moments, to create the experience. When we hold back or when we're scared, when we see timid, we're not allowing our true selves. We're not standing in the power that we have as hairstylists to let that come forth. And when we do that, these are when those moments of appreciation and value bring you the most fulfillment in your career. And then after a while, I want you to imagine, after doing all of these things, that you start to see a significant increase in your monthly revenue, and that you could afford to work less but still make the same amount of money, if not more. Right? So that's what we've been talking about on this webinar a lot, is a problem that we think as hairstylists, as this industry, is that if we want to make more money, we have to work more. So I want you to think about what your life would be like if you could work less days and make more money. And I want you to just see what your life would look like. What kind of things would you be able to do that you're not able to do right now? What type of things would you be enjoying with your family? Would you finally be able to take that vacation that you were wanting? Maybe start taking that weekly workout class that you can't take because you always work every single Saturday, but there's a 9 a.m. Zumba that your girlfriend Tracy takes and you want to join it, but you can't because you always work, but now you can. Would you start planning weekly date nights with your girlfriends or with your husband, with your kids? You would have more time to yourself. You wouldn't be so tired from working all the time, which that means that your life is pretty freaking awesome when you're able to do that. So Heather's going to take it over.
So good. So listen,
how you can make this your life.
We went over sneak peek into Rich Life and allowed you to take a second to evaluate yourself with the things that we cover and the things that really are going to help you create more income with the current guests that you have. So you've probably realized that there is room for growth. So this is basically putting it. This is your opportunity to innovate yourself as a hairstylist, period. We've never done a masterclass. We've never done a webinar where we fully explained this pioneer program, this revolutionary program that creates transformation in the lives of hairstylists. We've never done that before. So before we're going to open up in Q&A here in about 1 minute, this is by application only. So I'm going to paste the link. And actually, it's already in there, and then we can just post it. This course is extremely selective. When we get off this Q&A, you can click the link, fill out the entire application, and then you can book your complimentary one-on-one with us. So it's a complimentary one-on-one with us. Make sure that you fill out the application as soon as you get off this, because you have to fill out an application for us to be able to get on your one-on-one and immediately be able to dissect what you need. It just helps us use our time more efficiently. But you showed up today to get serious and about making your business behind the chair all that it can be. You're educated, you're experienced, and you've done an amazing job of getting to where you are right now. But it's time to step up. So we've created some time over the next couple of days that we normally don't create time for, to where we could have one-on-ones with approved applications. We will go over the investments of the course, of the full 12-week course. We will go over that in the approved one-on-ones. But I want you to know this. This is a huge financial investment. There is not one bigger in the industry that I've ever seen. It is a 4-figure a month for the 3 months financial investment and a 3 to 5 hour a week time investment of Rich Life Hairstylist. Why? Because the intimacy and the energy that we provide, they're revolutionary. If you want a big result, if you want a big transformation, those require big investments. You will not change your business. You will not change your life through a $500 class. You may learn a cool technique, but we don't sell cool techniques. We sell transformation, because we really care about elevating this industry to where hairstylists are seen in the same lighting that a doctor is. And the only way to do that is if we're intimate and we're aggressive with your growth. And that comes at a financial and a time investment. So everyone has skin in the game. So we'll post this link. I'll go in here and I'll actually set it up right now. Let's open up for Q&A. Sam, you probably have, my chat is on a delay, so I'm not seeing anything that's new. So you might have to be the one. Take like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, for sure. So if everybody just wants to give us your questions, and then we'll answer them in the order that we get them. I know that we are working on a bit of a delay, so it might take us just a few to get going here.
Yeah, my chat box is literally still on mindset stuff. I think yours is ahead of mine.
I think it is too. But I'm not getting any questions. Oh, so TL, I hope that's how I say your name, is what do we do if the owner will not raise her prices? So TL, you're working for an owner right now that's not raising her prices. So is that preventing you from being able to raise your prices?
So there's definitely a certain block with this. And if you are a part of a team salon, the first thing that I want to make extremely clear is I am for the salon owner. I am a salon owner. I know what it's like to have a full team that is distracted by everything that's going on in the industry that will not serve them whatsoever. So I am for the salon owner. So that would be a conversation that we would have with the salon owner to see if it's the right thing to do in the business, and help them with that fear of raising prices if it's what's necessary. 9 times out of 10 for the artists that we work with, Rich Life Hairstylist is for thriving hairstylists. I'm very cautious to say we don't work with new people in the industry because that's simply not true. Many of the girls on my team and the level that they're at in their career, they're all less than 6 years in the industry, and damn near all of them would be a fit for Rich Life. So it's not how long you've been in the industry, but it's the level of business that you have under you. And many of the people that we work with, they are due for a price increase because this is one of the main things that our industry struggles with so much. And I don't know where the hell this came from with me, but I'm not afraid to charge because I believe in so much my worth behind that chair. So we're not going to recommend that somebody goes through a price increase when they see 4 people a week. We're not going to recommend that. But when you got a business like what we're talking about and you want to take it to the next level, that's when it's probably safe to say that a price increase is recommended. And that would just need to be a very intentional and purposeful conversation with the salon owner.
And then this next question is going to address Melissa and Helen's question. Like Heather said, we'll go over the exact investment with you on the phone call and the one-on-one. Melissa asked, is it a low or a high 4-figure? And then Helen, can the investment be done on a payment plan? So to answer both questions, we do have a payment plan option and then a pay in full option. The payment plan is a low 4-figure. The pay in full is a mid 4-figure, just to kind of throw that out there for you guys. April asks, what if you work at Cost Cutters? So April, I'm guessing is that like a chain or like a corporation?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay.
So April, this is what I would recommend for you. And I want to be very responsible with the platform that I have right now. I want you to look. I think that there is probably good things about corporate-owned companies like Cost Cutters for some training purposes, maybe. And then I want you to think about, do you want a career in this industry? And if you do, I want you to think about how many people have made careers where they can afford the life that we're talking about that work at Cost Cutters as a hairstylist. And if there are several that you can think of, then you may be in the right place. But if you're having trouble coming up with that, then it may be a spot where you want to look at going to a space that creates career hairdressers. That would be my feedback for that.
And then Jessica asks, how do you feel about asking for referrals of your existing guests? Do you offer an incentive or just for a referral? So that's such a good question. We actually go over this in phase 2 of Rich Life, the referral program. Absolutely ask your existing guests for referrals. If they are your PPG, if they are your potentially perfect guest, ask them to send you their friends and family. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. We recommend creating a referral program for your salon that incentivizes guests to send you their friends and family. Do something obviously that's cost effective for you that you're not going to be losing a ton of money on. And we want to make the incentive that your guest is going to get for that referral be more than just $5 off your next experience. We want it to be something tangible.
Because it does not need to be discount.
Yeah, it doesn't
We'll
need
just
to be
say that right now.
Give
No
something
discount.
away for free.
Yep.
So
what we recommend is giving a full size product. The guest gets it tangible. It's instant gratification. It's full size and it's completely complimentary. You don't have to track 20% off here. The guest gets $5. The existing guest gets $5. No discounting. No discounting. We do not discount.
Katie asked if you've already applied. What steps do you need to do to reapply? I know my situation is because I just opened and I'm currently building. Katie, if this is something that you're passionate about and that you feel like you're ready to make the move, I want you to apply again.
Hit the link and just reapply.
Yeah, just reapply. And I'm going to write your name down right now to be able to look back, and we'll reach out to you and talk with you on how we can get this going for you. Raina, I love that spelling. What do we do if we feel like the salon we're at is very negative and won't make any changes, but we're not financially stable to open up our own salon or booth rent? Heather, I'm going to let you take this one because that's a great question.
Oh, yeah, because I heard the word we're in there. We're not. I don't know if you mean we're as in me or we're as in multiple people there. My first recommendation is, what are you doing? And I don't know who's asking these questions because my chat is very delayed. What are you doing to change the environment? Anywhere you go, there is going to be drama. Anywhere you go, there is going to be negativity. And all of us have to take responsibility in wherever we are to make it better. So many of us think, and I get why we think it, because it's so polluted on social media, where it only paints the most exciting parts of the industry, where we think that if we just go off and we go to another salon, or if we start our own, or if we go to a salon suite, that everything is instantly going to be better. And that is not true. Where you're at right now, until you have exhausted all parts of you being kind. And what does kind mean? Kind means clear and courageous, to say the hard things, to approach the negative people or the owner and say, I really, really like this place. There are certain things that I see that can be a lot better about it. And I want to take responsibility and do whatever I can to make them better. Can we talk about some ways that we can collaborate on doing that? And I will take responsibility because I believe in this place, or I once believed in this place, and I believe that it can be something better. But some things are going to have to change in order for that to happen. And I'm willing to take lead on this. Until you have had that conversation 20 times, I would say it's not time. It's not time to think about leaving. And too many people, and I say this to Sam. You have to be kind enough to tell the truth. And nobody's willing to tell the truth anymore, because it makes them uncomfortable. They feel like, no, I don't want to get involved in that. That's not my place. It is your place. It is your place, wherever you're at, to take responsibility for the energy that is in that space. It's not always the owner. And I'll tell you this isn't just in the industry. This is also in personal relationships with friends, with significant others, where you have to be kind enough to be courageous and be clear on what you'd like to happen before you can ever talk about not being friends with somebody or not following through on a contract. We have to speak those words, and we have to take responsibility to make it better, because it's not always on someone else. So that would be my first thing, is have a conversation, have a sit down, using the words that I just said on how you want to make the place better. Once you try to do that hardcore for 6 months, first of all, I'm pretty sure that stuff will start to change, especially if you do it courageous. And if it doesn't, that's your cue to move on.
Good.
I know that that's self-love, guys. I know that I have a lot of passion when I say that. But it's because I don't want our industry to keep going down the path that it is, of people taking an approach that really doesn't serve them. I don't want people to do that anymore. And so I want to be the light that says, have a tough conversation in a brave, courageous way, because that's what real women do, and men. Matthew Willis. I see your name on here.
So we'll answer the last two questions because that's all that I have on here. The first one, Marion, what is the schedule for the class? So all of the classes, the lessons that we offer in Rich Life, everything's online. You are sent out video lessons that are dripped out over a schedule during the week. You're able to watch them whenever you want. The only time-bound thing that we have are two things. Our weekly Blackboard sessions, which meets every Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you want to hop on for the live, it's a group coaching call. You're more than welcome to, but those are recorded, so you're able to go back and rewatch them. And then we do have homework assignments due every Saturday, but you can go in and watch the lessons throughout the week on your own time as long as you get that homework turned in on time. And then Dana and TL, you guys kind of both asked a similar question of how to get your salon team fired up and how to get everybody on board of wanting more and to make more and to give them that support. And one thing that I would say to that, and then Heather, if you want to add on to the end, is we have to get everybody's buy-in, right? You can't just tell someone to be excited, or you can't just tell someone to want to make more money. It's, as human beings, we don't like to be told what to do. We perform better and we do better when we are the ones that come up with the idea for ourselves, or when we decide that it's important. And so what we've learned, Heather and I have learned from Jay Williams, someone that we've worked with that helped us so much on creating just a really solid salon leadership team and creating that culture where we do have everybody's buy-in, is that you need to come to an agreement as a team on what's important to you. What are your values? What are your goals? And once you can come up with those agreements, you decide as a team, this is what we're saying is non-negotiable. This is what is important to us to do as a team together to be successful. And then people can decide for themselves if they want to be a part of that accountability or not. And if they don't, sometimes that means that people leave. If they do, a lot of successful hairstylists thrive off of being held accountable, obviously, and then follow through. So if you're able to create a culture that has values and has standards set, and you're able to follow through on making sure that when those things aren't done, that there's consequences and there's actions, and that will help you weed out the people that aren't on board. Because I'll tell you right, how to get other coworkers on board. If somebody doesn't want to be on board, you can't make them be on board, right? We have to set boundaries and set standards for ourselves, and the right people will show up. And Heather, if you want to add anything on that.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say is exactly what we just did in this masterclass. We painted a vision. We addressed the challenges that we know that you have, especially if you're a thriving artist in the industry. We addressed the challenge, and then we painted the vision of what life could look like, what business could look like. And then I know that for so many of you, because there is a lot of people on this webinar right now watching this, and they have stayed on the entire time, which tells me that this spoke to several people. So if you're looking for a way to get people on board in your salon and get them re-energized and recharged up, it takes, ooh, my goodness. Now I'm taking my PIP University hat off and I'm putting my PIP hat on. It takes the courage of your life to do this. This is the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. And I don't know if there's another industry out there that it's as hard as this industry to be a leader in, because once you do exactly what Sam just said, you address the challenge, you paint the vision, you get everyone's buy-in to come into agreement saying, this is where we're headed. You may fail in life and you may fail in business, but you will not fail in these walls. Is this what you want? 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 Okay, then this is what we're agreeing to, right? Everybody will be fired up because we're so inspired. That is 30% of it. The rest of it, if you are a leader, and if you are a leader, that doesn't mean you're an owner, and that doesn't mean that you're a salon manager. If you are a hairstylist behind the chair at any salon, you are a leader. You have responsibility in that culture when you signed on, whether you knew it or not. You have responsibility that when you know that everybody has agreed to carry forth in a certain vision with a certain energy, with a certain attitude, that you will be kind enough to be clear and tell the truth when you have to hold them accountable. And that's the hardest thing about it, because it sucks. Who tells you this, guys? Who tells you this? It sucks. People will not show up their best. They will have shitty attitudes. They will be late. They will get an attitude. They will be lazy. They will sit in the break room. They will text. They will not fold laundry. They will forget to pick up a guest. I mean, the list goes on and on. That is not their fault. They need a leader that loves them enough, whether it is the owner, whether it is the manager, or whether it is a teammate, to tell them, hey, remember, this is what we do. So make sure when that happens, this is what we do. Do you have any questions? Okay, cool, let's do it. Now, there is a certain way to coach this, and it's a lot more in-depth than this, but I don't want anybody on this masterclass thinking that they don't have responsibility in being a leader and carrying the vision forth, because everybody should take responsibility in that. And the way to get everyone on board is exactly what Sam said. You create the buy-in, you paint the vision, 20 to 30% of it, and then you follow through with what you say you are going to follow through on, and you hold people accountable. People want to be held accountable. That's why Rich Life is so amazing. Me and Sam are both mentors in Rich Life. I am not fearful of any of my girls in Rich Life. None of them. I will tell them exactly what I think. Even if it feels like I'm overstepping my boundaries, I ask for permission. They give it to me, and I tell them. And do you know how grateful they are? Because it sets off signs in their mindset of what they need to change and how they need to think. And too many people are just too scared to do that. You have to create the accountability. You have to follow through, or it will never work. And what's so funny is people think that we're on the vision, everybody's on board, everybody's fired up, everybody's excited. To actually execute that doesn't feel good all the time. In fact, probably 40% of the time, it feels like shit. It sucks. You have a pit in your stomach when you take responsibility to do this. But what you'll experience in return literally will keep you awake at night with so much gratitude. When Sam talked about, I literally wake up in the morning, my life's purpose wakes me up with my career. It sounds great, and it is great. I'll tell you this. But the fear that we have had to walk through in facing things that we don't want to face, being accountable, following through, that's the only thing that delivers results that what we're talking about. These results that we showed you, these testimonies from some of our girls doing what they're doing, it's incredible. The fear, the discipline, the accountability that they had to go through to get those results, but nobody wants to talk about that stuff. I'm in the same. I'm in the same boat with my own. I pay my people. I pay them a 4-figure investment a month, and that's $8,000, and that's just one payment that PIP University has. We spent $10,000 in Facebook ads. Okay, the level of fear that I've had to walk through with that is ultimately the only reason that any of you all are experiencing this masterclass. So many of us, we want to go to heaven, but we're not willing to die for it. And in order for us to experience the promised land, the land of that good, we have to be willing to do stuff that scares the crap out of us in order for us to get up there. I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah. And for everybody's questions that we didn't get to, if you do want to schedule the consultation, fill out the application, we'd love to talk to you about it. Because we do have a couple people asking about the financial. What do you do if you can't afford it but you want to? Follow us on social media. I mean, we give you guys so much stuff away that is free, that you don't have to pay for. So keep up with us, keep hustling, and I believe say to this: there's a way. There's a way that you can make it work.
Afford it. You can afford it. You can afford it. You figure it out. You figure it out. How bad do you want this? When I called my business accelerator, because I knew what I could give to PIP University, I gave. And it got us to a 6-figure level. But I was like, I literally don't know anymore. And so I have to have people that teach me, they hold me accountable, they push me, and I need to be around other minds that are like mine. When I got on the phone call with the founder and he told me $8,000 a month First of all, I did not have $8,000 a month. Let's make that very freaking clear. Second of all, if it was anything less, I knew that it wouldn't be for me, because that's the transformation that this company and me as its founder needed. I needed something big. So if he was going to hit me with some stuff like $2,000, I would have been like, it's not what I need, because I need something a lot bigger. I need something a lot bigger. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that I made that choice that scared me for 4 months now. This is just me being super vulnerable, that what I am asking you all to do, I have done myself. And I did not have that money, but I knew that I needed this, because I did not want PIP University to continue to go down the route that it always had been, where we were delivering like 1 and 2 day education, charging $700 for it, knowing that we were not creating a transformation in hairstylists' lives. If you want to be in a space that we are talking about, it costs money. And if we really want to get real, it's available to you. How hard are you going to work to be able to make that happen? How disciplined are you going to be in the pursuit of making your dreams come true? I know for a lot of you, this sounds super aggressive and it may be extremely in your face, but that's how much I care. And I'm not doing this to be mediocre at all. I spend a lot of my energy and my love and my time pouring into this program and pouring into this company so I can share it with people, so we change this industry. So if you're one of those ones that are like, what do we do if we can't afford it? You figure out a way, because you can afford it. You can. You just have to figure out a way. You get support around you that helps you and that believes in you enough to help you do this financial investment. So let's hop off here. The link, and you guys will continue to get notifications on the link on applying. Make sure that you fill out the application. That way when we do your one-on-one, we can get right down to business. We can enroll you and get you started on this path to your transformation, because that's essentially what it is. But just so everyone knows, the applications, fill out the application, and then when that's approved,
I need to give them the URL, right, and the redirect to send. Go ahead and send them.
I posted that already.
Perfect. Okay, just want to make sure.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. I literally love spending my nights doing exactly this. So thank you guys for coming out, for joining us. We appreciate you very much. And we
love you all. We love you all so much. Thank you for your support, and thank you for tuning in, because we have so many people on this webinar, and that's really, really cool in and of itself. So have an awesome night, and then hopefully we'll be talking to you in the next couple days.
Bye, guys.
Bye.